Hello, it's Hannah from Scribe with a quick video to introduce you to a new VAT type on Scribe for reverse charge. Reverse charge is a mechanism for charging VAT where it becomes the customer's responsibility to account for VAT by showing it as both input and output tax on the VAT return. The reverse charge is currently used by two specific areas, which are construction and electronic applications such as Zoom or Dropbox. So you may well have seen this coming through on invoices given the rise of that sort of use of application given the last 18 months or so. It's worth remembering though it only applies to councils who are VAT registered because of the way in which it's dealt with, i.e. recording on the VAT return. Therefore, if you are a council that is not VAT registered and you're just claiming back the VAT using Form 126, you do not need to worry about the reverse charge either when you receive an invoice and what you need to do with it and to deal with it in a normal way, but you also don't need to worry about doing anything specifically on Scribe as well. Okay, so that means that you can only use the reverse charge on Scribe if you are VAT registered. Okay, so if under your account in the council profile, you have your box ticked here for being VAT registered, okay, because you are VAT registered and you're doing a VAT return rather than a Form 126 claim, you will see the option to use that VAT type. Okay. So if you receive an invoice that states the VAT is subject to the reverse charge and your council is VAT registered, then firstly you'll need to add this VAT type so that it's visible in your account. Okay, that can be done within the setup menu. So if you go to setup and then VAT types, you can see we've got all the standard VAT types listed here that are defaulted when you have your account set up on Scribe. But we've also got this option in the top right hand corner to add VAT type for the reverse charge. Okay, so if we click that, you'll see it's now appeared at the bottom. It's using C because R is already used by the refund option that's used when you receive a VAT claim back from HMRC. So this one's got C in front of it and it states 20% because that's what it's going to deal with when you put it through. Okay, so we've got our VAT type there. Now we can put our payment entry on. So that's done in the normal way as a transaction entry under payments. So let's go through quickly and put that on. So go through the normal process of putting on the information. And let's say we are going to have a subscription to Dropbox. Let's say, for example, we've used previously. Put it through my codes in the normal way. And here. So this is where we've got the information on the right hand side. So you'll see now we've got reverse charge appearing at the bottom. Okay, so we put the value in, let's say £200. You'll see at this point it's not showing any VAT, which is absolutely correct because you're not going to be paying any additional VAT. You want to record here the net value of that invoice that they're charging you. So my invoice is £200. It states it's subject to the reverse VAT, but here I'm just recording what I'm actually going to pay out to my supplier. Okay, so we save that. And that's now in the list. Okay, so although we've used that reverse charge, we're not seeing anything additionally going on because we're recording what is actually happening in terms of what we're actually paying. The place where we're going to see this taking place, the reverse VAT element of it, is within the VAT menu itself when we look at the VAT return. So if I go to VAT and then VAT 100, which is where I'm going to get my VAT return up. So July is in Q2, so if we run our report for that, and there we go. So you can see that what's happened is we're getting £40 on sales in box 1 and £40 therefore in box 3 is due, but also we're having £40 reclaimed. So what happens with reverse VAT is because we're accounting for on both sides, we're going to see it as input and as output tax. So £40 in both boxes 1 and 4. So the overall effect in box 5 is 0 because we're accounting for both sides of it. So rather than a normal invoice where you pay out the VAT and then at a later point you reclaim it, it's kind of happening in both sides of the entry on the VAT return, so accounting for it on both sides. What you'll also find is the net value of the entry also appears in box 6 and 7. So the purchase that you've made, box 7, but you're also showing it as if you were the supplier as well as the customer. Okay, so that's exactly what you want to see in here, and the effect is 0 because you're not paying anything additionally or reclaiming anything for this. It's just that you're accounting for that element of VAT. At the bottom, you can see we've got an asterisk here, Boxes 1 and 4 include the £40 reverse charge VAT from payments, and boxes 6 and 7 include the £200, which is what we put in. So that's going to give us a little bit of information so we can see where that's come from, and that's exactly what we'd expect to happen. The last place that might be useful to be aware of is the VAT list, because we can run this report and see a little bit more information in here. So we can see if you did have a few invoices that came through with reverse charge and you got a bit more complicated on working out what's gone through, you can run this and see this is the one with C and here's the value at the bottom for the reverse charge VAT. And that's everything that you need to do. So add the VAT in. Anything where you've got a reverse VAT charged on an invoice, you make sure you use that C VAT type, and then the VAT return and the VAT list will show you the appropriate figures in order to use that VAT type. Okay, thank you very much.